Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's your girl Crystal Lorian, and you are now checking into the Crazy Curly Hair Chronicles. This is a podcast, and really, I'm doing this podcast for a show. However, I do hope that it turns into something a little bit better outside of class. And I'm gonna give you a brief rundown of what the podcast is over. It's basically gonna be about me, my life as a single mother, taking care of my 9-year-old son, Amir Solomon, my doggies. This is Tea Cake, and I have Sophie Chanel behind me. Also, me being a college student, me working as a mobile bartender, as a model, and as an actress. So I have a lot of hats that I wear. I have a lot of things that I do. And so this first episode is just going to be like a little quick rundown on who I am, where I'm from, how I got to where I got to. And so we're going to start on May 26, in 1991 in Houston, Texas. This beautiful woman was born. Okay? Yes, I am a Gemini. Yes, you heard that right. And so, yeah, born and raised in Houston, went to school in Missouri City. Shout out to Rural Ridge High School. Shout out to the Eagles, right? And so, 2009, I started my college journey. I started it off at the Sam Houston State University. Go Bearcats. And I love Sam Houston. I love the whole experience that I had at Sam. So I went there from 2009 to 2010. From 2010 to 2011, I did something called a gap year. I think before a gap year was even a thing. And so I can't really remember why I took time off, but I went home for about a year. Went back in the summer of 2011. My grandmother, she passed in August of 2011. And I really felt like that was like a good thing for me, because had I missed out on that time with my grandmother, I probably would have had like a nervous breakdown when she passed. And so, yeah, that was, you knew it was going to happen. But, when you lose somebody that you've known for like, 20 years of your life, that's really hard. And so that was my love bug. I loved her so much. And so, like I said, I went back summer 2011. And then in 2013, in the fall semester, Sam used to give me my walking papers because, man, your girl was effing up. I was messing up. I realized that my naps are very important to me. And so it was kind of hard, to do a kinesiology class on a Thursday at 2 o'clock when you knew every day at 2 o'clock you want to be asleep. Yeah, my naps are really important. So for all of those who are, starting to go to school, or thinking about, going to school, just know your strengths and your weaknesses. Don't say, just know what you are capable of and what you're not capable of. And I promise you, it'll save you so much time and so much money. Man. But it was no way I was going to be able to do that kinesiology class, especially if it was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because, baby, I be tired. I be asleep. Still, I want to take a nap around that time. But it is what it is. So, I came back home while everybody was walking across the stage. I was taking my little butt back to Houston. And so, on September 18th of 2014, I found out that I was pregnant with my baby, Amir Solomon. And it just so happened to be my mom's birthday. So I just knew that I was going to, keep my baby, because I found out on my mom's birthday. And so I told her that was like her birthday present for that year. So I went to school. I was at Texas Southern University, and I did pretty good. Up until October of 2016. The fall semester was kind of hard because my son, I was exclusively breastfeeding him, meaning he only drank breast milk. Now, had I known what I know now, I probably wouldn't have did that. I probably would, he still would have had breast milk, but I would have switched between the boob and the bottle, the boob and the bottle. You know, the nurses, they're very adamant on saying, hey, you know, give them the boob because you want them to get used to the boob. And that was cool until, you know, he 1 year old and he just walking around pulling your titty out in front of everybody, not really giving it because he hungry, you know. And so the fall semester, it was really hard because that's all he wanted was hot off the presses. My mom, I would leave milk and he would not drink the milk from the bottle. And he would rarely eat like food. Like all he wanted was breast milk. That's the problem. So, you know, with that, I did suffer from like postpartum, you know, just having to be available to him at all times. And, you know, him not understanding that, you know, I need a break to, you know, babies don't understand that. They just know I'm hungry, give me my food, you know. And so I struggled with that. And so my father, he ended up passing October 14th of 2016. And so that postpartum depression just full on went to depression. And so that was really hard for me. And so it was no way in hell that I was going to go to school taking care of a 16-month-old baby after my father had died. And the day after my father died, I actually was in a DV situation, my first and my only DV situation. And so it was just a lot. That was a lot. And so that'll be another story for another day. But yeah, so that happened. So then, like I said, I fell into a depression. And so it's kind of crazy, you know, the sun could be shining and it's completely dark. Like, it was dark. And I suffered with that for a while. I was able to get out of it at the beginning of 2017. I ended up, you know, getting a job. I worked at Raising Cane's from 2017 to 2018. And that was a pretty cool job. But I didn't want to still be doing that at a certain age. So I ended up, you know, working at Papa Do's Seafood Kitchen. For anyone that knows about Papa Do's Seafood Kitchen, that's a really good shout out to them chicken fingers. And ooh, it's the fall time, so they're about to have that sweet potato cheesecake. Baby, I'm about to go give me one. That's chicken fingers and that cheesecake. That's all I'm gonna get. I lie. And that redfish. Ooh, and that never mind. Baby, everything on the menu. Lit. Love it. Out of this world. So I did that from 28. I did that from April to like August. April to October. I ended up getting fired from that job. So the reason why I got fired from that job is because my son, he had the stomach flu. If y'all hear him, that's my son in the background. My son had the stomach flu, the stomach virus, one weekend. And so it's really hard to get people to cover weekend shift, Friday night shift, Saturday night, you know, because people want to go out. They want to have a good time. Don't nobody really want to work unless they on the schedule. So nobody would take my $60. But I wasn't tripping. Well, I'm going to tell you why I wasn't tripping. So after my son got the stomach virus, a couple of days later, I got the stomach virus. And then I go online and I'm looking at this casting call and it's for a Solange music video. So I said, of course, why not? I am, because I love her and I'm her fan. And so I got a call back. And so come to find out, hey, you're going to do this. I was in there I was on set for about 3 days. And so I am on When I Get Home video, what they call it? Video album. And so Way to the Show in Alameda. Y'all go check those out. I'll leave the links in the bio, in the description. And so that was a lovely 3-day experience for me. And Solange, when I say so humble, or is it humble? So humble, so kind, you know, sweet, just, you know, down to earth, real Houston, you know, real Houston girl. I'm trying to tell you, I loved it. She was just so amazing. And so, like, the first thing I remember talking, she was like, where you from? And Harm Clark. I was like, girl, you know it. The only person to pinpoint anybody else to say I'm from Mo City, but Solange hit her right on the head. She already knew where your girl was from. From Harm Clark, by the way, of Mo City. That's how I like to say it, because I went to school in Mo City, really rich in Mo City, but it is what it is. That's a whole nother conversation as well. So I was like, let me go back to work on Saturday. So, I go to work, and as soon as I get there, I'm fired. But I wasn't tripping. Had it been like the previous GM, they had switched GMs while I was going for those 2 weeks. So had it been the other GM, he probably would have gave me like a 3-day probation. But with the new GM, I know he had to make an example out of me, so I really wasn't tripping. It is what it is. I just did 3 days with Solange, baby. Whatever. Bye-bye. And so that happened. And so for a while, I could not find a job. It was hard to find a job, but I ended up finding a job in 2019 in April. And so I started to work for Fort Bend County at the district clerk's office. I started off as a jury clerk, and then I was promoted to IT coordinator. I did appreciate that job. However, I was wearing a lot of hats and I wasn't getting paid what I was worth, so I had to go. I didn't get fired from that job. I left that job. But I left that job when I had another job. That's how you do it, okay? I did that the right way. I'm so sorry, Amir. But Amir, I love you so much, but you are so loud. Amir? Amir, you are loud. Thank you. So after that, I ended up working for a nonprofit, Crime Stoppers of Houston, and I did that for about a year. And that was a good job, but I started to get tired of that job because it was very repetitive. It was boring. It was only like 5 people in the office. Amir, if I have to tell you to be quiet one more time, we're going to have a problem. I will remove the iPad. See, this what y'all gonna get. This what y'all get, and I ain't even gonna edit none of that. It's all of it staying in, all of it. So, like I said, 2022, I started to work for Crime Stoppers of Houston, nonprofit organization. I worked on the prevention side, not on the let's catch the people the crime side. So I am not a snitch, okay? Trust me, I'm not a snitch, because I could tell on somebody right now, but I'm not. So I worked there, and it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I love the nonprofit. I realized that's something that I would love to do, but I started to get tired of it for many reasons. But in 2023, I had something personal that was going on, and I did not let them know that. I really didn't want nobody in my business. There was only a few people that knew what was going on. And so with that being said, I did have a lot of mental, I just needed like mental breaks. And so I really found myself not wanting to go to work, and really finding an excuse any chance I could get to not going to work or to leave work early. I ain't even gonna lie. I was tired, and I was low-key tired of them people. It is what it is. I'm sorry if y'all watch it. It is what it is. So, I ended up getting fired. It is what it is. And so in July of 2023, I ended up finding another job, and that job was cool. I worked as a receptionist at a corporate office. That was cool, but I started to get tired of that because it was really repetitive, and it wasn't challenging enough for me. And so while I was there, I was being very adamant on trying to find another job before either getting fired or leaving. Excuse me. And so, unfortunately, I did get fired. But when that happened at the corporate office, I really wasn't tripping, because at the beginning of May, I ended up losing a boyfriend. My boyfriend, he basically passed. And so that was just really hard. It was really hard to go into work and say, hi, good morning, how are you doing? Knowing that I just wanted to be face down in the pillow, screaming and crying. Like, that's literally all I wanted to do. And so, I think they seen that, and I'm like, I was over it. I was tired of it. And so they let me go. And when that happened, I didn't even cry losing that job. I was still crying over, my boo being gone. So that was a lot. So now we're in October of 2024. And so basically, after I lost that job and losing a job 2 years in a row in the same month, the first time, okay, the second time it could be a coincidence. And I wasn't about to do nothing a third year in a row to lose a job May 2025. So I was like, okay, let me see if I could go back into school. So I had already applied for FAFSA, I think in March or April, because I was like, I'm gonna just see if I could go back to school. And I applied for FAFSA, and I remember by June I had went to the TSU website, and it was I think the date that they had on there was August 1st for readmission. And so I went to the campus. I was on academic probation because I had just dropped out after my dad had died. I didn't take the necessary precautions to save me and take care of me. So I would also say when you're going through something, to just do your research and to just reach out to someone that you trust, a professor or an elder, someone at the school, and just say, hey, this is what I'm going through, can you help me? So that if you do take the break that you need, you can go back to school and not have to go through all the hoops and whatever to get stuff done. And so but man, y'all should have seen me. I was on that campus every single day, every other day, just what do I need to do? I gotta get back in school. And I got back in school. So I ended up I had to meet with the professor. Shout out to Professor Murray. And we went over my degree plan, and he was like, you only have about 20 hours left. And I was like, 20 hours? That's a year. That's 2 semesters. Because I was thinking 3 semesters. I was telling people, I think I have about a year and a half. No, ma'am. A year. I should be graduating by May 2025. So I'm very happy, you guys. I'm very ecstatic. Okay, so now I'm back in school. And so I'm taking 14 hours currently, and one of the classes that I'm taking is the online journalism class. And with that being said, we had to pick some form of media that we would do our work on. And so I decided to do a podcast because, hey, I already had the equipment, hence this mic that you see me talking into. And I had already been thinking about doing a podcast. So I was like, why not? Let's just do that. So now it's October the 3rd. He turned around and he asked me what day it was, and I said October the 3rd. Yes, all the mean girl girlies, we know today is a national holiday. And it also happens to be homecoming week at the Texas Southern University. So, shout out to everybody that's just, celebrating. So now I'm back in school, and it feels good to be back in school. And I'm loving it. So I'm doing this podcast for my class, but hopefully this podcast takes off a little bit, to where I can do something, with it. So I hope that you all tune in, y'all watch, that y'all like what I'm talking about. If y'all have anything that y'all want me to talk about, just give me some ideas. I am going to try to bring people on. I have been on a podcast already, Did You Miss Me, with Billy Sorrells. He had me on one episode, and then yesterday we recorded another episode. So hopefully that airs. And I would love for you all to support that and support Billy and, you know, what he's doing. Shout out to my friend. He's always making some moves. And so I would love to bring him on the show one day. I am definitely going to bring my cousin on, my girl Desiree, because when we get together, it's a party. It's a party. It's a party. When we're on the phone, it's jokes. It's giving life. It's giving laughter. It's giving, why are y'all like this? We have no clue, but that's just how God made us, okay? So I will for sure have her sitting on this couch with me one day. And I have like friends that do like pretty interesting things, so I would love to bring them on. So I just want y'all to continue to tune in. And so with also with me sharing my life stories and things like that, I will have to put some type of recent news in it. I will do that at the beginning of the podcast, just so we can get that out the way, and then so we can get like to the real interesting stuff. So now this is the recent news portion of my podcast. Like I said, I am from Houston, Texas, and as y'all know, the ports have been shut down for about 3 days. The ports are no longer shut down. They are back open. They have reached the deal, and the people are back to working. So now the grocery prices should not really be expensive. They shouldn't be high, because what I seen was that bananas are going to be expensive. Our seafood, our crab legs and our shrimps was going to cost a lot of money. I hope not anymore. And also the alcohol. The alcohol the prices was gonna raise on the alcohol. Baby, minimum wage is still $7.25 in Houston. I don't know what y'all doing, but y'all better fix it. Also in recent news, we found out that John Amos had passed. But we found out in October, but the man had been passed since August. I thought it was just a really good PR team. Come to find out, no, his brother just trifling, allegedly. John Amos. Shout out to the legendary, the legend. May he live and rest in peace. These last few months, well, few is 3. These last 4 or 5 months have been hard, for the music and the entertainment industry. We are just losing like a lot of legends, a lot of greats. But that just lets you know that God needs them more than we need them. So, shout out, I'm still getting over Fat Man Scoop, Rich Homie Quan, It's hard out here, okay? So it is what, we just gonna continue to go. Also, we are a month and 2 days out until election, November the 5th. I suggest that if you are not registered to vote, that you go out and you register to vote, and if you have not picked a side, have chosen a side, pick a side, preferably the Kamala side, please. Us women are depending on you. Our bodies, our rights. Yeah. Your daughter, your nieces, your girlfriend. Her body, her choice. We don't need a Cheeto trying to tell us what to do with our body. Seeing that he wants to grab us by our, We don't need that. We don't want that. We don't need a man that just openly spews hatred and acts as if he is a Christian. If you're a Christian, you will lead with love. And unfortunately, he does not lead with love. He don't lead with love. He don't. So with that being said, we don't need to do that. And he also wants to be a dictator the first day. Y'all might see that as a joke, but I don't. Because even though us Geminis be joking, we be serious, okay? We might tell you a joke, but baby, we be dead ass. So yeah, we don't need that. We don't need the Cheeto. We don't. So, but besides me talking about me, my life as a single mom, a college student, a part-time mommy, working as a mobile bartender with Boozer's Bartending and modeling and acting. I will be covering recent news, and I will also be covering entertainment news, and I will also be letting you all know about the shows that I'm watching. So one show that I am watching is Reasonable Doubt. It is on Hulu. If you have not watched it or have not started it, I suggest that you do. It's a really good show. Really, really good show. I love it. We got to get those views. We have to keep the views coming in because I do see a pattern with really good Black shows being canceled after the first or the second season, which sucks because we have reality shows where we have Black women that fight each other that's able to stay on air longer than, you know, shows that show Black people, you know, coming into their greatness and, you know, helping us with trauma, you know, helping us through trauma. So a lot of Black shows that, you know, were created and you see the Black characters having trauma, but they were working through it and teaching us how to work through it and, you know, trying to be great. And for some reason, it gets canceled because they believe that we like bullshit. So, you know, that's another thing. I will be talking about quality shows on here. Now, don't get me wrong. If y'all do watch, you know, certain reality shows, you will see me on the background of Jocelyn's Cabaret, the Texas edition, the first and second episode. Yeah, I'm in the background. I am cutting up, acting a fool. I didn't know it was for that show until I showed up. So that was the whole thing. But hey, I was there, so I had to make the best of it. So yeah, I watched Reasonable Doubt. That's a really good show. I was watching The Circle, but I had to stop because my anxiety. It was giving me really bad anxiety, and I did not like where it was going. I may just watch the finale just to see who wins. And if it's a person that I don't like, I'm not going to catch up on the shows. I'm sorry. Also, Big Brother, I watched it up until the final 5. The people that got there, that's all I needed to see. And I just want to know who wins. That's it. What else am I watching? Love is Blind came back out season 7. Seems like it's going to be pretty good. So I will be watching that. Abbott Elementary is coming out, I believe, October the 9th. So I will be watching that, and I will be talking about Abbott Elementary because I love that show. What else do I watch? Zatima on BET and BET Plus has come back out. So shout out to Zatima. I love Zatima. I have to pay my $5.99 for BET Plus so I can watch that and catch up on Sisters. There is a show on BET Plus that I do love, Daria from Detroit. Really good show. Really, really good show. Don't know what's going on with that right now, but they need to renew it for a second season because I don't want to be left on that cliffhanger. So, BET Plus, I don't know what y'all got to do, but renew it, please. Survivor is back out. I got to catch up. I watched the first episode, but I'm going to watch my 2 episodes. So I should be talking about Survivor. Glorilla dropping her album this month. Ooh, shout out to Big Glogy. Yeah, oh, yeah, that's my girl. So I'm waiting for that to come out. Let's see. I think that's really it. I don't think I'm watching any more shows. I wanted to twist my hair while I was, you know, doing this, but I decided, let me just like get this out the way. So with me having the curly hair, I will talk about my experience as a naturalista. I've been natural since about 2010. I've done a lot of different hairstyles with my head. So I will talk about that. You might see me twist my hair on camera and things like that. So yeah. And the podcast isn't going to be long. I'm not going to, you know, have y'all for an hour, maybe about 30 to 40 minutes. 40 minutes will be the longest that I do this podcast for. So, you know, I just wanted to give y'all a little brief overview of me and how I got here and why I'm doing this and what's going on in my life. And so, yeah, if y'all have any ideas or, want to see me talk about anything or, want me to, I would even, fake interview my dogs. I'm even thinking about, putting my son on here one day, probably like for 5 minutes. Not for the whole thing. Not for the whole thing. Because he be showing me out. And honestly, I don't like sharing my screen time with him. I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like that. He already stole my birthday. He just stole my face. He steals my bed. He just stole my room. He steals my water. Like, he just, he been stealing from me ever since, the seed been planted. I'm tired. But I love him so much. He is the greatest. So, once again, like I said, this is the Crazy Curly Hair Chronicles with Crystal Lauren. And I hope that y'all enjoyed this first little episode. And I'll see y'all next time.